In the United States alone, there are estimated to be between 25 to 50 active serial killers at any given time. This chilling fact might make your blood run cold. A serial killer, by definition, is a person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive, and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. This sinister world is more real than you may think. Today, we delve into the dark world of some of America's most notorious serial killers. Ted Bundy, the man with a charming face, hid a monstrous personality beneath it. This was a man with a dual nature. On one side, a charismatic, handsome law student with a promising future, and on the other, a cold-blooded predator. Bundy's life was a paradox. He was born in the mid-20th century, in the heart of Burlington, Vermont. He was a seemingly normal child, but deep within, something was brewing, something dark, that would later shake the nation. His true nature began to emerge in the late 60s, when he started his terrifying rampage. His victims, all young women, were drawn in by his charm and good looks, unaware of the danger they were stepping into. Bundy would usually feign injury or seek help, using his charisma to lure these unsuspecting women before he struck. And strike he did across multiple states, leaving a trail of horror in his wake. From Washington to Utah, Colorado to Florida, no place seemed safe from Bundy's grasp. His reign of terror spanned over 4 years, and he was linked to the gruesome murders of over 30 women, although some believe the actual number may be much higher. Despite his horrific actions, Bundy's intelligence and charm enabled him to elude capture for a significant period. He managed to escape twice from police custody, adding a chilling twist to his already terrifying narrative. But as the saying goes, you can run, but you can't hide. His capture came in Florida in the late 70s, thanks to a routine traffic stop. The charming law student, the man who could have been anything, was finally unmasked for what he truly was, a monster. He was tried, found guilty, and sentenced to death, a fitting end for one of America's most notorious serial killers. Bundy was finally apprehended, ending his reign of terror, but leaving a chilling legacy behind. His story serves as a stark reminder that sometimes the most dangerous monsters are those that walk among us, hidden behind a charming smile and a friendly face. Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker, wreaked havoc in the hearts of Californians during the mid-1980s. Born in El Paso, Texas in 1960, Ramirez was subjected to a troubled upbringing, marred by drug abuse and exposure to graphic violence. It was this grim introduction to life that shaped him into the man he would become. Ramirez's reign of terror began in earnest in the spring of 1984. His crimes were chillingly brutal and utterly random. He would invade homes under the cover of night, his victims chosen not by personal vendetta, but by opportunity. His modus operandi was as unpredictable as his choice of victims. Some he shot, others he assaulted, and yet others he subjected to horrific acts of physical and psychological torment. The only consistent thread was his trademark, a pentagram symbol he would leave at the scene, a chilling signature that became synonymous with fear. His crimes spread a wave of terror throughout the state of California. Doors were double-locked, windows were boarded, and families huddled together, fearing they could be his next victims. The Night Stalker had turned the Golden State into a landscape of fear, but even the darkest of nights must face the dawn. And so did the Night Stalker. In August 1985, Ramirez was finally captured. Ironically, it wasn't the police who caught him, but a group of enraged and fearless citizens who recognized him from his police sketch. They chased him down, delivering street justice until the police arrived to arrest him. His subsequent trial was a media circus, with Ramirez often displaying a chilling indifference to his horrific crimes. In 1989, he was found guilty of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. He was sentenced to die in the gas chamber, a sentence he met with a smirk and the words, "Big deal, death always went with the territory." Ramirez's reign of terror ended, but the nightmares he induced still haunt his victims' families. To this day, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, remains one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. His story is a chilling reminder of the monsters that can lurk in the shadows of society. Aileen Wuornos, a woman who turned the tables, was anything but a damsel in distress. This is the tale of a woman who used her vulnerability as a weapon, whose life of hardship twisted into a chilling narrative of death and deception. Born into a world of abuse and abandonment, Aileen's life was a tragic one from the start. Her tumultuous childhood pushed her into a life of prostitution by the tender age of 15, a life that would later serve as her hunting ground. Aileen's story takes a dark turn when she began to use her profession as a means to lure unsuspecting men into her deadly web. Between the years of 1989 and 1990, 7 men met their untimely end at her hands. The Florida highways became her hunting grounds, the scene of her chilling crimes. Her victims, all men who sought her services, were found shot at point-blank range. Aileen claimed self-defense, stating each man had tried to assault her. But as the body count increased, her claims began to wear thin. The net around Aileen began to close in 1991 when her lover and accomplice, Tyria Moore, agreed to get a confession from Aileen in exchange for immunity. This confession, chilling in its nonchalance and lack of remorse, led to Aileen's arrest. In court, Aileen's fiery temper and erratic behavior only served to seal her fate. She was found guilty of 6 out of the 7 murders and was sentenced to death. Her life ended in 2002 with her execution by lethal injection. Wuornos's life ended with her execution, but her story remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. Aileen Wuornos, the damsel of death, was no damsel in distress. She was a predator, a product of her circumstances perhaps, but a predator nonetheless. Her story serves as a stark reminder that monsters walk among us, sometimes in the guise of the most vulnerable. These individuals, these monsters who walked among us, serve as a chilling reminder of the evil that exists in our world. They lurked in the shadows, disguised in the ordinary, their heinous deeds a stark contrast to their seemingly normal exteriors. Ted Bundy, the charming sociopath who used his charisma to lure and then terminate over 30 innocent lives. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, whose reign of terror kept an entire city on edge, his crimes a chilling testament to the darkness within. Aileen Wuornos, the damsel of death, a twisted tale of a life gone awry, leading to the ruthless elimination of 7 men. Each of these individuals, in their own twisted way, held a mirror to the society we live in. They instilled an unspeakable fear in the hearts of the general public, a dread that lingered long after their capture and demise. They are a chilling testament to the fact that sometimes the monsters we fear are not under our beds but walking amongst us. But remember, the purpose of recounting these stories is not to instill fear, but to remind us of the importance of vigilance, to remind us that evil often wears a deceptive mask. As we sleep soundly in our beds tonight, remember there are still 25 to 50 active serial killers in the United States. Stay vigilant, stay safe. If you've made it this far, congratulations, you've survived our journey into the dark world of serial killers. We've traversed the chilling tales of Ted Bundy's reign of terror, the eerie exploits of the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, and the sinister saga of Aileen Wuornos, the damsel of death. Now we're not done yet. There's a whole world of macabre mysteries and terrifying true crime tales waiting to be uncovered, and we need your help to delve deeper. If you've been captivated by these chilling chronicles, if they've sent shivers down your spine or kept you on the edge of your seat, then we've got a favor to ask. Go ahead and hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who share our fascination for the strange, the sinister, and the downright scary. Then, share this video with your friends, your family, anyone you think can handle the hair-raising horror of humanity's darkest deeds. Spread the word, because the more people we have on this journey with us, the deeper we can delve into the abyss. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. It's a simple click for you, but for us, it's a sign that our efforts are stirring the curiosity in you. It encourages us to bring you more content, more stories, more journeys into the dark corners of history. Don't forget to drop us a comment down below. What did you think of the video? Which parts chilled you to the bone? And are there other notorious serial killers you'd like us to explore? Your thoughts, your suggestions, your feedback, they're the fuel that fires our journey into the unknown. This is your host, signing off. Remember, stay vigilant, stay safe, and as always, keep exploring the dark corners of history.